In the ever-evolving realm of football, change is the lifeblood that courses through its veins. As the Premier League season kicks into gear, a fresh breeze of transformation sweeps across the pitch, ushering in a new era of rules designed to elevate the game to even greater heights. The sport's remarkable capacity to adapt and innovate remains on full display, echoing a sentiment that harkens back to its inception over a century and a half ago. Football Retouch presents a compilation of the groundbreaking regulations poised to reshape the Premier League landscape. Football's remarkable ability to adapt and evolve over the years is a testament to its enduring appeal. The sport has transformed significantly since its inception over a century and a half ago, with a continuous stream of rule changes aimed at enhancing the game for fans, players, and officials alike. Even in the current year of 2023, as the Premier League season is already underway, several novel regulations have been introduced to rectify existing flaws and elevate the overall quality of the sport. Compiled by Football Retouch, here is a roundup of some of the new rules anticipated in the Premier League this season.
Areas of focus this year, which you'll have heard about and which obviously I've spoken about quite a lot in the last few days. They primarily sit around two areas. One is around participant behaviour and the way that we feel that all participants should behave on the field in the technical area, even in the stands as well. There's focus on fan behaviour.
Offside. Though not entirely novel, the offside rule has undergone further refinement this season to facilitate more straightforward decisions for both referees and VAR. A pivotal adjustment dictates that a player who is clearly offside should not become onside on every occasion when an opponent moves and touches the ball. This modification aims to clarify the proper interpretation of the offside rule, which was a source of confusion last season.
If you choose to act in a certain way, then there's a consequence for that. And again, we don't think there's a need to show imaginary cards, for example. It's showing a disrespect to your opponent. So if that's almost like a bright line rule, do that and you get a yellow card. As long as everybody knows that's going to be the consequence, and there's no picking and choosing when that happens. You've got a commitment from us that we will be consistent regardless of who's involved, regardless of the game, whether it's Premier League or through the different leagues that we serve. We'll take consistent action on that.
In a substantial departure from tradition, players now have the opportunity to avoid receiving a card for a foul if the referee determines that their intent was a genuine attempt to play the ball. This alteration could significantly impact scenarios where the last defender fouls an attacker to prevent a potential goal-scoring opportunity, previously resulting in a red card. Such incidents may now warrant only a caution if the referee deems the tackle to be well-intentioned.
Ustedes se levantan del sofá, caminan para un lado, para otro, estamos igual.
Jerry Mina que
autoriza el árbitro, va al derecho Jerry Mina, toma impulso, va Jerry saca el remate, gol otra vez el arquero al lado derecho y vuelve y ataca.
Goalkeepers' tactics during penalty shootouts have been reined in this season, with the implementation of rules against attempts to distract opposing players. The era of goalkeepers engaging in psychological mind games, epitomized by Emi Martinez's antics during the World Cup final, is curtailed. Goalkeepers will now face disciplinary measures if they employ tactics like delaying penalty kicks or interacting with the goalposts.
All the changes are meant to be for the good of the game, all of them. And I appreciate that when you change anything, it creates a reaction. I've also seen, conversely to the thing you've read out there, and I fully respect that opinion. I've also seen quite a lot of positivity in terms of some of the things that we're looking to do to increase effective playing time, to get the game restarted, to penalise players who delay. All of these changes have been explained to the clubs as well. But I understand that it's not just about explaining the change. Creating the change in the first place through consultation is important.
A fresh initiative against time wasting is set to take effect, targeting instances of deliberate slowing down throughout the entirety of a match. While goalkeepers have been notorious for employing this tactic, referees will now intervene earlier in the game, issuing warnings to potential offenders. Persistent time wasting will lead to punitive actions by match officials.
I don't think there is a huge issue where a fan's feeling, they don't want to see time wasting. They want to see referees stamp down on deliberate, intentional time wasting at the end of a game where it's frustrating. They want to see that clamped down on. But you have the powers to deal with that. You have yellow cards, and you also have the 6-second rule with the goalkeepers where you can hurry them up.
adding time for more ball in play. Inspired by the Qatar World Cup, where substantial stoppage time was added for various reasons, the Premier League is introducing a similar practice. Additional time will be allocated at the end of each half to account for wasted seconds due to prolonged goal celebrations, substitutions, or injury stoppages. The clock will pause during these interruptions, ensuring a higher proportion of active play.
The minute you said to a captain, I'm going to book the next player who time wastes if you feel a team are at it, they would straight away stop doing it because you'd start booking handing yellow cards out. You have the deterrent already within the laws of the game. Why don't you just apply the laws?
Yeah, we do. So just to put the added time piece to bed just for a moment, a lot of that is around what we're having to do, but based on changes to the laws of the game. What happened at the World Cup has been now sort of like embedded within the laws, and we don't have a lot of choice around that. From my side, I think the most important part that we play is around trying to ensure that those tactics that are meant to delay the game, delay the restart, but kicking balls away when the team is ready to take a throw in. So you'll see that, and I hope you've seen it already in the games of the weekend. You'll see that much more consistently, and not just for this week or next week or September, October, right through this season, and for good.
It's not annoying. It's that we have to get used to. I had the feeling, not because we were winning 1-0, it's just for the fact that I had the feeling that didn't happen much to extend 8 minutes.
Bigger punishments for managers. In response to the occasional confrontations between managers and officials, referees are granted greater authority to impose penalties. Managers who cross the line may find themselves on the receiving end of yellow or red cards, or even being sent to the stands. This measure aims to maintain respect and decorum on the sidelines.
Going on down in the technical area, I can tell you that.
Cutting down on technical area numbers. The traditional sight of a manager accompanied by assistant coaches in the technical area will undergo alteration. From the next season onward, only one individual will be allowed at the edge of the technical area, while assistant managers are required to remain closer to the dugouts. Consultations among coaching staff must take place away from the touchline to prevent encroachment. Crowding the referee. Instances of players swarming the referee to protest decisions may have consequences this season. Players demanding bookings for opponents could themselves be booked, as referees are empowered to discipline those who engage in confrontations. This change could potentially lead to players receiving second yellow cards for needless protests. As the Premier League marches forward, these new rules promise to fine-tune the game, addressing existing issues and fostering a fairer, more dynamic, and ultimately more enjoyable experience for all stakeholders involved.
We want people to buy into this. We want people to see that this is for the benefit of the game. You know, we want people to see that what we're trying to do is for the benefit of all of us that love this game. Whether you're blowing a whistle, you're playing, you're watching in the stands, you're managing, you're broadcasting, whatever it might be. We want to protect the good of the game for sure, because it's something that we all cherish.